For years I carried the secret of how I ruined someone's life, not for revenge at first, but because the truth I held was too dangerous to ever reveal, until the timing was perfect. Welcome to Reddit Toxic Family Telltales channel. New episode every day. You ever plan the perfect wedding and then, everything goes completely off the rails? Yeah, that was my life. I was standing there about to marry the love of my life when my best friend, the guy I trusted with everything, decided to completely hijack the day. Midway through his best man speech he drops this bomb. He proposes. To the maid of honor. He pulls out a ring and she struts up like she owns the place. She squeals yes. And they kiss passionately. And for a split second I thought maybe, just maybe, people would cheer. But no. Not a single clap. Instead the room erupted into boos. And then it got worse. My dad, a little tipsy, storms forward, swinging an open beer bottle like he's auditioning for a movie stunt, and drenches them both. His suit, her off-white dress, completely soaked. That little scene? It inspired a chain reaction. Others joined in, tossing drinks like some chaotic water fight. Before I could even process it, the best man and the maid of honor were standing there, completely drenched in beer and wine, her makeup smeared, her dress ruined, and they just ran. The best man tried to follow, but my dad, probably thinking he was channeling some kind of revenge hero, sticks his foot out. The guy trips, face plants right on the venue floor. Gets back up, sprints out, and just like that the wedding was destroyed. I didn't even think. I ran after them, and when I caught up, they were standing there, awkward, soaked, like two kids who'd been caught in a sprinkler. The best man sees me coming, eyes wide, a mix of guilt and disbelief. The maid of honor is right behind him, trying to hide her face, her dress and makeup ruined beyond repair. Man, this isn't fair. He blurts out, voice shaky. We didn't deserve that. We were just trying to do something special. I stopped in front of him, trying to wrap my head around what I was hearing. Not an apology. A complaint. You didn't deserve that? You hijacked my wedding and now you're upset because people were mad. He shakes his head, frustrated. No, you don't get it. It wasn't supposed to go like this. We didn't mean to ruin anything. I thought people would be happy for us. I thought you'd be happy for me. I stare at him, dumbfounded. Happy for you? This was supposed to be my day, our day. My wife, my life, my wedding. Why can't it be both? He fires back, voice rising, desperation creeping in. Why can't we share the moment? You're my best friend. I thought of all people you'd understand. I've been waiting for the right time to propose and this felt perfect. She's the love of my life, just like your wife is to you. The maid of honor wipes at her smeared makeup, saying nothing, eyes glued to the floor like she's hoping to disappear entirely. I take a deep breath, trying to keep my anger in check. You thought this was the right time? At my wedding? You couldn't wait one day, not even until after the reception? He groans, hands running through his wet hair. You're blowing this out of proportion. It was one little moment. And now everyone hates us, we got drenched in beer and wine and we're the villains. I clench my fists, the disbelief hitting me all over again. You don't get to act like the victim. You made this about you and now you're surprised people are upset. He slumps, voice softening, trying to sound contrite. I didn't think it would matter. I didn't mean to overshadow anything. I just wanted to make a memory too. I glare. That's not remorse. That's disappointment that the universe didn't cater to his selfish little plan. He steps back, gaze dropping to the ground. Look, I get it. You're angry. I didn't plan for it to blow up like this, but please. Don't throw our friendship away over one mistake. We've been through too much. I can't lose you over this. I pause. Staring at him, realizing he still doesn't fully get it. The day, the memories, the chaos, it wasn't about him. Maybe we shouldn't even be around each other for a while. Fine, I finally say. If you really think this was no big deal, maybe we need some distance. He nods slowly, a mixture of regret and frustration on his face. Without another word, I turn and walk back inside, leaving them there, soaked, humiliated, and completely aware that the memory they wanted to create had turned into a nightmare no one would ever forget. And the texts? Oh, the texts started immediately. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing, my best friend relentlessly apologizing. I'm really sorry, please talk to me. I never meant for this to happen, please don't hate me. I put the phone down with a heavy sigh. My wife, still in her wedding dress, her hair disheveled, makeup ruined from tears, looks at me, voice barely a whisper. He's texting you? Yeah, I say, rubbing my eyes. Non-stop. She shakes her head. Of course he is. He ruined our wedding and now he's trying to play the victim. I nod. My mind is spinning. My wedding, my perfect day was hijacked. And somehow my best friend is still somehow making it about himself. The messages didn't stop. Calls, emails, apologies, all of them begging for forgiveness, claiming he didn't mean for anything to go wrong. He thought it would be special for everyone. He's still trying to justify it, still trying to convince me he's the one who's wronged. By the end of the week, my patience is gone. My wife? She's done with the maid of honor, despite years of friendship. But me? She leaves that choice to me. I missed my best friend, but could I forgive him for ruining the most important day of my life? I agreed to meet him for coffee. Maybe talking face to face would help. Maybe it would give me closure. When the day came, I arrived early. He walks in, wrinkled clothes, hair a mess, drenched from the rain. His face is red and tired. He sits, eyes avoiding mine, staring at his cup of coffee. And then he starts talking. I didn't mean for the wedding to be ruined. I thought it would be a great moment for everyone. I'm genuinely sorry. I've always wanted to propose to her at a special event and it felt right. At the moment. I nod, listening, but inside, anger and pity mixed together. He's still trying to justify it, to make himself the victim. I didn't expect this to blow up like it did, he says, voice breaking. I thought people would be happy for us. I didn't want to take away from your day. Please, don't let this ruin our friendship. I stay calm, barely. Inside, I know things have changed. I pretended to accept his apology. But deep down, I was already planning my next move. A full year had passed. 12 months of carefully pretending, of hiding my real feelings behind a mask of politeness and feigned happiness. I waited because revenge, like any art, needed timing. It needed patience. The maid of honor was pregnant with my best man's child. A tiny, perfect detail that I stored away like ammunition. Social media posts? Check. Congratulatory messages? Check. I even sent them a gift. All smiles, all kindness. Outwardly, I was the friend who had forgiven them, moved on. Inside? I was a storm waiting for the perfect moment. And that moment finally came, the day of their wedding. I arrived at the venue with my wife, with our closest friends in tow. I looked sharp, blending in effortlessly, chatting casually with other guests, a glass of champagne in hand. Nothing about me betrayed the storm that had been brewing for 12 months. Meanwhile, the bride fussed with her dress, her nervous energy palpable. My best man hovered, trying to soothe her. From across the room I observed every gesture, every flutter of anxiety, and I smiled. The ceremony began, vows exchanged, the air thick with anticipation. Then I struck. I stood. Loud, clear, impossible to ignore. Congratulations, everyone. I called, raising my glass. The room's murmur shifted to confusion. Congratulations to bride and best man. I let their names hang in the air, a subtle reminder of everything they'd tried to control. And then I dropped the bomb. We're expecting our first child. Silence. Jaw-dropping, speechless silence. Guests whispered behind their hands, eyes wide. The bride froze mid-smile, her face draining of color. My best man's expression went pale, as though someone had just knocked the air out of him. Whispers grew louder, a soft chorus of shock and awe. I let it linger. A slow, deliberate pause. I could feel the weight of every gaze, every whispered word. Their happiness faltered in real time, slipping through their fingers the way mine had slipped away that day a year ago. I smiled, genuinely, and continued, we couldn't be more excited. We can't wait to start our family. Every syllable landed. Every word a needle. Their smiles vanished entirely. And in that moment I didn't just see surprise, I saw the faintest glimmer of comprehension. They finally knew, in some small way, what it felt like to have your perfect day overshadowed, hijacked, rewritten by someone else's life. I sat back down next to my wife, hand in hand, steady and calm. Across the room my best man struggled to regain composure. The bride's hands trembled as she gripped the folds of her dress. I had done it. It was petty. It was cruel. But it was justice. This wasn't just revenge. This was acknowledgement. This was power reclaimed, the tiniest taste of the chaos they had once imposed on me. 12 months of patience, planning, subtlety, and now they felt it. They saw it. And I smiled quietly, savoring it all. The tables had turned. The moment was mine. And for the first time in a year I felt fully, undeniably victorious. The aftermath was messy but quiet. No shouting. No public confrontations. Just pure, unadulterated shock and humiliation. They couldn't argue. They couldn't deflect. The attention was theirs now, and all they could do was stand there under the weight of it. Whispers rippled through the guests, and they weren't whispers of congratulations. No, these were murmurs of disbelief, surprise, and a little bit of judgment. I watched as the maid of honor fumbled with her bouquet, her fingers twisting the stems like she could somehow erase the moment from existence. The best man clenched his fists so tightly I thought his knuckles might crack, muttering something under his breath. I didn't care to hear it. I didn't need to. My point had been made and it was irreversible. My wife leaned over, her voice soft but warm, barely audible over the room's murmurs. Congratulations, she whispered. I squeezed her hand tightly, feeling the quiet pride radiating through her. We had orchestrated this flawlessly, every tiny detail planned for maximum impact, and now the execution was perfect. The rest of the ceremony went on, but the energy had shifted completely. Their wedding, the one they had spent months obsessing over, rehearsing every word, perfecting every step, was no longer about them. Every eye in the room had subtly, inevitably shifted to us. Our announcement had rewritten the focus and with it, the story of the day. Some guests awkwardly tried to comfort them, but the shock ran too deep, the embarrassment too raw. Nobody wanted to ruin the magic of our news. The bride and groom exchanged glances, a mixture of disbelief, anger, and a silent plea for the moment to be undone. But it was too late. The seed had been planted. I held my gaze on them, calm and collected, quietly savoring every second. They had spent a year crafting a memory at my wedding. I had spent a year crafting one at theirs. And this subtle, quiet, unspoken justice, was so much sweeter than any dramatic confrontation could have been. There was no yelling, no scene, just the unmistakable sting of timing and patience. For the first time in a year I felt closure. All the frustration, the resentment, the hurt of being overshadowed, they all melted into this calm, satisfying moment. I had waited. I had been patient. I had chosen the right day, the perfect moment, and now it had come. Finally, the scales were balanced. After the ceremony, my wife and I left discreetly. No lingering, no drawn-out farewells. The statement had been made. The tables had turned. Our lives were moving forward in a way that they could no longer overshadow, no matter how hard they tried. The best man and the maid of honor tried to maintain appearances for the remaining guests. They smiled, nodded, chatted, but it was all forced, hollow. The subtle shift in attention, the gentle whispers, the curious glances, everyone now knew who held the day in their hands. It was quiet, almost invisible to anyone not paying attention, but it stung deeply where it mattered. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. I simply existed in that moment, quietly proud of the patience, the planning, and the timing that had allowed me to claim my small, but undeniable measure of justice. And for the first time in over a year, I felt a strange, satisfying peace. After that day, there was nothing. No calls. No texts. No awkward run-ins. Just silence. The once unshakable bond with my best man, the one I thought would last a lifetime, had dissolved completely. Gone. Just a memory, and a bitter one at that. Through mutual acquaintances, I heard bits and pieces. Rumors. Whispers. The kind that made your lips twitch with a small, satisfied smirk. The maid of honor and the best man? Their marriage was already starting to crumble. I heard she had cheated on him. I heard she had taken everything he had. But I didn't care. I didn't need to. I had done my part. My revenge was complete. I had moved on. And then, out of nowhere, it happened. A message. His name flashing across my screen, and I felt the old irritation bubble up immediately. I opened it. I need a place to stay. She left me. Took everything I have. Nowhere to go. Can I crash at your place for a while? I stared at the words, my hands tightening around my phone. Disbelief, anger, and lingering resentment collided in a chaotic storm. Part of me wanted to laugh at the audacity. Part of me wanted to reply with something cruel. But I took a deep breath and typed carefully, with a calm I didn't quite feel. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. I think it's best we keep our distance. I hit send and then I blocked his number. Permanently. Finally. The past was behind me. The revenge had come full circle. Justice in my eyes had been served. I could breathe again. I could focus on my growing family. I was free. But of course, freedom never lasts long when someone refuses to let go. A few days later, my phone buzzed again. An unfamiliar number. I hesitated. Reluctantly, I answered. Please, just hear me out one more time. I'm at rock bottom. I don't have anyone else. I know I messed up, but this is really bad. I need your help. I sighed, forcing calm into my voice. What more do you want from me? I've already told you I can't help. His voice wavered, desperate and frantic. I get it, okay? I really do. But think about what we had. We were best friends. I know I made a mistake, but everyone else has turned their backs on me. I'm all alone. I have no one else to turn to. His pleading was suffocating, almost tangible over the phone. I didn't respond right away. I could hear him breathing, hear the desperation in every word. Then came the messages. One after another. Each one more insistent than the last. Finally, the call came again. His voice frantic, raw. You don't understand? I'm completely broke. She left me with nothing. I'm desperate. I know it was my fault, but I swear I've learned my lesson. Please, please don't do this to me. You're the only person who can help me now. I was about to hang up, the irritation and disbelief boiling over, but then he said something that crossed the line, something that made my blood run cold. I'm just asking for a chance. If you don't help me, I'll have nowhere to go. I'd even be willing to forgive you for ruining my wedding, but only if you agree to help me. You owe me that much. I froze. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. He was trying to guilt me. Manipulate me. Turn the past, the chaos he had caused, the humiliation he had endured, into leverage against me. That was it. That was the final straw. That's it, I said, my voice cold and deliberate. I'm done. I won't listen to any more of your excuses or demands. I ended the call. I blocked the number again. Permanently. This time there was no coming back. No second chances. No lingering doubt. The friendship was over. Done. Finished. The drama, the chaos, the betrayal, it was all behind me. And I finally was free. Thanks for watching. Today's train wreck is over, but tomorrow's ride is already on track. Subscribe so you don't miss it.